Greetings, Fright fans. Dr. Gangrene here. Tonight we're going to take a look at another DVD. Now this is a box set that I've been wanting to get for a long time and just kept putting off, and I finally this week said screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and get it, and I picked it up, and that is something it's been out for a while now, but it's Kolchak, the Night Stalker. This is one of my very favorite TV shows, and I don't know why I put it off for so long. Well, actually I do know why I put it off for so long, because the reason why is because I had this bootleg set here, Kolchak the Night Stalker. Now, a friend of mine gave me this years ago before the episodes were ever officially released, and this was on heavy rotation here at my house when my kids were young. We watched all of these episodes multiple times because we love them. Kolchak the Night Stalker ran on ABC TV from 74 to 75. There were 20 episodes, just ran one season. It stars Darren McGavin, one of my all-time favorite actors, as Carl Kolchak, the irascible and quirky reporter for INS, Independent News Service, who just had a knack for the supernatural. Each week, a different episode had him, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident, but had him square off against a different monster or supernatural creature. It might be an alien, it might be a zombie or a werewolf or a motorcycle riding knight. I mean, you never knew what you were going to see, but it was always something cool. And I didn't get to watch these growing up. My mom wouldn't let me watch them. This was 74, 75, so I would have been like 8 years old. Wasn't happening. No, it wasn't going to happen. But my kids got to watch it, and it's funny how much times change from the 70s to the, late 90s, early 2000s. Times change. What's kind of scary or shocking or whatever in one decade is not a couple decades later. But anyway, me and my kids certainly enjoyed it. So anyway, let's take a closer look at the box set here of Kolchak. So here is the cover, Kolchak the Night Stalker. There's a picture of Mr. McGavin on the cover there, Carl himself. Kolchak the Night Stalker again, Universal on the spine, and the back here tells you all about it. It says, Kolchak the Night Stalker, the uniquely eerie mystery series that paved the way for the X-Files, comes to DVD with all 20 original one-hour episodes of the 1974 to 1975 series. Primetime Emmy nominee Darren McGavin stars as Carl Kolchak, a headstrong investigative reporter on the trail of the paranormal, zombies, vampires, werewolves, ghosts, succubi, and even aliens. No matter how unnatural or unbelievable, Kolchak is there to uncover the truth, one supernatural threat at a time. Join the hunt in the dark alleys and creepy hidden layers of Chicago. Hey, look at that. There's a typo. Chicago, with such sensational guest stars as Scatman Crothers, Antonio Fargas, Sharon Farrell, Dick Van Patten, Jamie Farr, Larry Linville, Jim Backus, and more. Then we flip inside, and you see laid out in the background, we'll get to that, your discs here are on these flippers, which is pretty cool. It's got 5 discs, so 4 episodes per disc. And on the inside of the cover, it's laid out like this with a picture of Darren. There, different ones from different episodes, and little synopses of each of the episodes, like, for instance, the Spanish Moss murders. A man's sleep state manifests a murderous boogeyman from the Cajun Bayou, and Kolchak takes to the sewers of Chicago to battle the slimy creature with the only weapon that can kill it, a spear made of bayou gumwood. And that is sort of what all the episodes are like. Carl Kolchak fighting off a monster of some kind or another. Now, the video quality of these episodes is pristine. These things have been digitally cleaned up, and they are gorgeous. They look way better than I've ever seen them look, much better than this bootleg set that I had, which looked like it was recorded off TV. They weren't bad, but boy, they're nothing compared to this. This is cleaned up and looks probably better than it ever really looked in its original run on those little 70s TVs that people were watching. All right, so that's Kolchak the Night Stalker. Again, this is fantastic stuff. If you've never seen these episodes, do yourself a favor and pick this up. This is some of my very favorite 70s television stuff. And there was a lot of great TV in the 70s. TV in the 1970s absolutely ruled. And Darren McGavin is one of my all-time favorite actors. You know, I've only written one actually 2 fan letters in my life. The first one was to Bob Greasy, the football player for the Miami Dolphins, because he was my favorite football player growing up. I was a huge Miami Dolphins fan, and he got glasses the same year I did, and he actually wore them under his football helmet on the field. It got him the same year, and I thought that was pretty cool, and the fact that he was able to wear glasses on the field sort of made it okay for me to wear glasses. So anyway, skip forward years later, the only other person I've ever written a fan letter to was Darren McGavin. This was as an adult. Darren McGavin passed away, I believe it was in 2006, so this would have been 2005. I saw a letter from his son on the internet asking for fans to write fan letters to his dad, just letting him know how much, if you were a fan, just write an appreciative letter, because his dad loved to get fan letters. This was to try to cheer him up in the hospital, and he said he probably won't be able to respond, but he will, I promise you, read every one of them. And so I did. I wrote him a little fan letter to let him know how much I appreciated his work, how much me and my kids loved him and The Night Stalker, and especially in A Christmas Story, and how that movie just wouldn't be the same without him. And I feel the same way about both of Kolchak, The Night Stalker, and A Christmas Story, that McGavin makes both of those work. That's what makes it go, is Darren McGavin. Without him, neither one of those works. I heard back from his son and said thank you, and you know, it's kind of nice to know that maybe I helped cheer him up a little bit. He passed away a year later, and you know, he was a great actor, and this is a great series. So if you guys are fans of Carl Kolchak or Darren McGavin, this is definitely a great set to pick up. I'll leave a link down below. It's available on Amazon, really cheap. I think it's less than 20 bucks. Well worth it. So let me know what you guys think about The Night Stalker. Are you a fan of this? And if you are, what's your favorite episode? Because I'm hard pressed to pick one favorite. I like the zombie episode. I like the werewolf episode. I like the vampire episode. All the main monsters, the biggies, those are all fun. But let me know what your favorite episode is. And until next time, this is Dr. Gangrene from the lab saying, stay mad.